Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Modine and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the current state of our politics and the upcoming elections. There are things that I wish someone told me when I was young to cast my first vote, but no one did, and I wouldn't blame anyone because that time I was also not informed. I could have taken self-initiative and learn on my own because the information has always been out there. It's only out there for us to, it's only left to us to seek and dive into any opportunity that we get to kind of like get information, and we will get it. Why am I making this video and why am I at the location I am right now? This is Germany, Duisburg to be precise. I came over here because it's an inland port, you know, and I want to show you something. What you see right here is man-made. This is just like you would have it in the Volta Lake, for example. So it's just using an existing river, you know, and connecting it to the sea, dredging it and making it useful so that industries, when you look to this side, there are industries that are tapping into oil. So what you see right there, this right there is it's an oil tanker, a small one that is feeding fuel to some industries on the side over there to function. You get it. Behind there is the Nestle company, and there are other things over there as well. Now when you look towards this side as well, you can see some other industries, the manufacturings and all that stuff. And this water goes all the way, this is the Rhine, right? It goes all the way through to the Netherlands, right? And this is something that these countries did together to make sure that they make transportation accessible, and by that doing they create jobs along the lines and improve the townships that are along the stretches that have been affected by this water, right? So let me switch over to this side. Right here on this bridge also gives something meaningful right now. So over here people can ply with their bicycles and cars and all that stuff, but in the middle also goes what we call the tram, right? When it passes by, I will show you guys, but way behind over there you see behind there you see the port area, so you can see some containers and all over there. And this is made possible because of this dredging that was done. Recently they are doing some expansion works. The bridge I'm currently standing on is a new one. It was installed maybe barely a year, less than a year ago. If I'm not mistaken, let's say it was opened in the last 6 or 7 months or so. There used to be an older one. You could see where the machines are working in the back over there. There used to be the other one, but it's been already removed, and so they are working on the debris, some of the metals that were left in there. They are taking everything out and currently opening it up so that the new one will be accessible. This is Duisburg. You can look it up yourself and try to learn a thing or two. So why am I talking about this very thing right here? It's because of this coming elections. We have the NDC, we have the NPP, and we have the new force. Now it is very important that we look as young people and current state of our economy, things that are going on in the country, for us to decide what works best for us as a people. Now, if I'm to advise any young person out there, I would suggest that we vote for the new force. Not because I trust Nana Bediako. I don't trust him. I don't trust Dramani, Mahama. Neither do I trust Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, right? I don't trust any of them. In fact, anyone in politics, I don't trust them. I don't deal with them in anything whatsoever. But what makes me lean towards the new force is because of the name and what it gives, the vision and what it can serve us, you know. These are the things. I'm usually not the type who would go to town and stand in public and shoot videos, but I'm doing this because it has been on my heart for some time and I want to drive the message so that we can understand it. Now, as I move forward, I don't know if you guys can see, but behind the trees over there, when you look at these trees, behind them, right somewhere around there, you would see that there has been a lot of ships that have also been docked right there. Right, those are all there serving and waiting for their turn to go through underneath this bridge and go serve, you know, the various the ports over here and the various industries that are here. You can see them from right there, right there, right there. You will see all of them over there, right? And this is what I'm talking about. The new force for me is giving representation to the fact that young people need to wake up and see that we can get more than we've been getting all this while. That is what, to me, the new force is creating, right? Now, why am I saying this? We've been dealt with a lot of times when it comes to the NDC, the NPP. Let me hurry up. I see some ships moving, so I want to capture that and show you while it's happening. The NPP, the NDC, they've always been there, but we haven't seen anything when it comes to the development of our country. However, the new force is trying to let us know that there is more that we can get as a nation and as a people if we can create this hunger in us to try to demand accountability from our leaders. Then always we will be able to get the best things for our country. Now, let me also push it to this point that in as much as I don't trust these leaders, the reason why I will always push for the new force is simply because it is driving something in us to move, to start asking questions. And when we are seeing the possibilities that exist in other jurisdictions and what is possible within our own country, then we can start moving and working in that regard. Let me show you one of the ships that is going through right now so that you guys can have an idea. So you can see one right there. You see, this is it right there. This is moving. This one, for example, usually is a bulk carrier. It carries maybe, let's say, wheat, all the things that you can't, like oil and whatnot. It's not going to be. Oil is usually in these types. This is the oil tanker. The one you're seeing right here is the oil tanker, and you see all the other ones in the corner right there in the shot, right? And this is where this one is going through. This one may carry something like wheat, debris, you know, things that would need to be scooped out from the ship itself. And this is what it is. I don't know if I'm allowed in here, but anyway, there is nothing restricting me from being here to shoot this video, so I'll do it anyway so you guys can actually see it and learn a thing or two. So I'm here so you can see that it is possible. This is man-made, and so this is the reason why I per se I'm saying that I like the vision that the new force is bringing to bear. I like the vision. For one thing, it makes us see that things are possible within our own environment, that something can happen differently if we try to seek and if we try to use our energies to push it happen, you know. The one thing that we can look at, for example, is that as young people, we usually veer off from politics. We don't want to be involved, just like myself. But we can use the creative force that is within us to always push things and make things happen. Why am I saying this? We've been taken for granted for a long time, and the new force with the vision is making us see. For example, when Nana Bediako went out there on radio to say that he will bring the sea to Kumasi, a lot of people made mockery of that and didn't ask the right questions. But for most of us who are out here in Europe, who've had the chance to travel a bit around, we actually see and we know that this is possible, right? It is very possible, and this is what it is. Bringing the sea to Kumasi or bringing the sea anywhere is not an issue of someone telling you lies or someone giving you a scam. I mean, Nkrumah saw it way back and created the Volta Lake to be able to create electricity for us to use today, which has become beneficial to us, even generations ahead. And it's going to be like that for a long time to come. Now, when we look at the current state we are in right now, when you look at the motorway and all the other major roads we have in Ghana, it's always been destroyed by these articulated trucks that ply the route, because when you take out the road transportation, we don't have any other form of transportation again that is actually helping move our natural resources from the points where they are, or the farm produce whatsoever, to the factories and all. Now, creating canals such as this, where these are man-made, right, where you connect it to the sea to give it that push, so that when anything is coming, these are barges, by the way, these are not the actual ship that these are barges, I think, but this right here is an oil tanker, because it carries oil, usually the crude oil, the diesel, the petrols whatsoever. That's why you have a lot of pipes on there, right? And the ones like the one opposite it, you can see the top is opened. Those are bulk carriers, so you can feed a lot of different things into it. So let's say you go into like a place where you want to transport log, like timber for example, it will be placed in that one, because then when it gets to the port, it can just be lifted and then it is gone. So that is what it is essentially, right? And so I brought you guys here today so that I can show you that what Nana Bediako was saying wasn't just something to get the media's attention for the wrong things like we've been having in the political landscape. I think what is happening right now is that we should see beyond the words that are spoken, and we should see the common future we can have as Ghanaians, or the Ghanaian youth, when we pool our energies together for the right purposes. Why am I saying this? Now, if the new force is making us realize that we have River Pra, we have the Ofin River, all the rivers that connect straight to the sea can be dredged and opened up so that we can use for sea transport as well as railway transport systems. It will go a long way to ease the pressure of our roads. And every time the roads are constructed, they can last a bit longer, because the road also deals with stress, and with stress comes destruction. And if a road is constructed and is meant to be in existence for, let's say, 20 or 30 years, if you overpower with so much stress and so much load, it's going to destroy it. Now you can see we have artificially created lake over here, and then you have the train, the railway running by the side, but this is for the industry. You can see it right there, for the industry. And I'm showing you that these are live things, and for us to see that it is actually possible. Now the new force is making us realize that, hey, the water that we see in Ghana can be opened up and we can benefit from this same thing. I don't want to be speaking without showing. That's why I'm here to actually show you, for you to know that it is possible, right? If we look at the rivers we have, imagine the possibility that these things are opened up. What can happen is that we can have industries that are built very close to where the natural resources are, and it's going to benefit the inhabitants, people who live there, and even people who live also far away from these places. What that is going to do is that it's going to create an economic boom around those places, and it will stop people from coming into Accra, because Accra is choked, and everybody is thinking that for them to make it, they need to come to Accra. However, our road systems are even bad sometimes. You know, the forecast, usually when you look to, nobody, right, can drive in the morning from Accra to Kumasi, go do business and return the same day without losing a lot of things in their day. Now let me break this down for you. Let's say you set off in the morning around 6 o'clock from Accra, New Plan Station, going to Kumasi. Now it's going to take you at least a good 5 to 6 hours to get to Kumasi. That means you are going to get to Kumasi by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, thereabout. And once you get there, people are already tired because of our nature, the way we do things, the way we do business and all that kind of stuff. People are already tired to even sit and talk business with you, unless they're serious-minded ones. So let's say you meet serious-minded people who are willing to do business with you. They talk with you, you go through everything, you do your business, whatever reason that took you to Kumasi, you go through it and you do it well, right? Sorry, if you leave 6, you're going to arrive at 12. Sorry for that. 12. So if it's taking you 6 hours with all the traffic and all that stuff, you're going to be there at 12. So being there at 12, you go through your business and all that stuff for 2 hours, 3 hours, you're done, and then you want to head back to Accra. Now, when you set off at 2 p.m., because of traffic that will be ahead and all stuff in Accra, you will finally get to your house around 6 p.m., right? Now, maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. that way. Your whole day is burned, right? Meanwhile, around the same journey in kilometers, in somewhere here in Germany, a typical town will be from Düsseldorf to Bremen, which is almost the same in kilometers. I think from Accra to Kumasi is about 240 kilometers. I stand to be corrected, but please check and correct me if I'm wrong. I think between 240 to 280 kilometers. And you have Düsseldorf to Bremen also being around the same thing. Why is it that one can travel easily from Düsseldorf of the same stretch to Bremen in just 3 hours by road? But then when it comes to traveling to Kumasi, we need about 5 or 6 hours, right? Because we've choked ourselves with a lot of things. The roads are not proper, nothing really works, indiscipline all over the place. Even when there is traffic, instead of people standing in the way and waiting for things to actually work properly, for us to find a way to make the traffic move, people start showing their power and indiscipline by trying to move across the shoulders and driving on the shoulders of the road, and we keep on causing more harm than good, right? And this is what happens. One can drive from Düsseldorf all the way through to Bremen from 6 o'clock. If one starts the journey, one will be there exactly at 9. And even if there is traffic, the maximum wait time will be about 30 minutes, unless there is an accident, a serious accident that needs the road to be blocked whatsoever, right? But if everything is okay, fair and square, you are going to be there at 9 o'clock, which means that if you have a 2 hours meeting, by 11 you are done. And if you set off at 11 to come back to your home, again, by 2 p.m. you are back home, and you can be there in time to finish up other work, and it's not going to take up your whole day. This is what something like this is going to bring to us as a people, right? When we create something like this, it's going to create employment. It's going to take off the pressure from the roads that are being constructed, because then guess what? Our gold will no longer be transported by road. All the natural resources, the cocoa from the farms and all that, are going to be in the bulk carriers. They are not going to be transported by the containers. When we create this to those areas, the cocoa processing plant will relocate from Tema to such places, and then we don't have to burden the roads that are constructed. Because if the road is constructed and is supposed to be there and functional for the next 20 years, it's been calculated that it will take so and so weight and stress to live for that long. If what is going to be applied on that road is double or triple that stress and weight, the road is definitely going to spoil earlier. Already, whenever we give contracts to the contractors to build this type of roads and all, we do not actually sit properly to engage them to negotiate what works well for the future of Ghana. What we do instead is we try to look for what is going into our pocket, the 10% syndrome, right? And people look to that alone to make their decision. So young people out there, this year 2024, this election, if you want to vote for anybody, I would say you should vote for the new force. Not because I trust them, but it is because I think when we buy into the vision and we can let that vision steer us in the right direction to think for ourselves, to think on our feet, we can start moving things positively in the country. What that means is that it doesn't matter who wins the power. It doesn't matter if it's NDC or it is NPP. We can call for accurate accountability. We can demand what is necessary to move our country forward. It is something we can actually demand because it is our right to demand things like that. And that is where I want us to get to as a people. That is where I want young people to get to. You can choose to vote for the NPP. You can choose to vote for the NDC. You can choose to vote for the new force. I don't care. All I care about is that whoever you choose to vote for, make sure you, as the youth over there, who is ready to use your thumb to vote and choose someone in power, have checked yourself well and is ready to look into the future with a very sane vision. And these are some of the possibilities: the water transport system, the railway network. These are things that are going to create industries, and when industries are being created, it's going to bring about jobs for people to function. It is of interest for you to know that today, in parts of Mankesim, in parts of Anomabo, there are chamber and hall apartments going for as low as 100 cedis or 200 cedis. And that place, if we have a good road, you should take at least an hour to drive from Accra to a place like Mankesim, maximum. Nothing stops people, that is the tram I was talking about, driving on top over there. Nothing stops anybody, nothing absolutely stops anybody from living in Mankesim and driving to Accra on a daily to come and do business. Now, I know people are going to say 1 hour seems far. Yet we stay in traffic and stay around places like Spintex, and we still use the same 1 hour or 2 hours in traffic to travel to Accra Central to do business, whereas that same journey, if everything is okay, should take us maybe 20 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, right? We are causing problems for ourselves. We are causing problems for ourselves. If we open up the country in a good way, we don't have to suffer. We don't have to suffer. So the problem is, again, not the leaders. The problem rests with us. If we are able to see what is possible in our country, it's like, because we've not been able to see certain things, we don't think past our very immediate environment, which is something we need to start doing. Look at what I'm showing you right now. This is possible in Ghana. This could be River Pra. This could be Ofin. That is being converted, dredged, and opened up for things like this to happen, where you're going to have the cocoa processing company right there in the heart of the farmers where they grow cocoa. This is what I'm talking about, where the custodians of the land in every district, in every region where there is something meaningful over there, can use the resources that is generated to actually beef up their economy and build their infrastructure up, so that the people will call the leaders into accountability. Everything that happens, we need people who can stand and know to fight for a common future. If anything goes wrong over here, the youth in Germany, the people around Europe will always jump and speak against the politicians because they know what they also want. But do we actually know what we want? What is it that we want today as the youth of Ghana? What is it that we seek to have? I mean, 99% of the youth today, there are some good ones out there. Let me not put 99%. Let me bring it down to maybe about 70% of the youth out there today are just looking for an opportunity to study and run out and go live outside the country. It is legitimately so because these other countries have positioned themselves in such a way that they scream and push opportunities everywhere you see. And so whenever you see such opportunities, all your wish is to be in such an environment so that you thrive. So there are people who have placed their intellect on hold. There are people who have placed their creativity on hold because they think in Ghana they can't be creative enough, because they think in Ghana they can't utilize their intellect unless they travel out and go and give it to the white man, to go and give it to the Western societies. And that is where we find ourselves. And that is why I am buying into the vision or the so-called guidelines that the new force is bringing out on board right now. I don't trust the individuals, but I trust the mindset, the vision, the issues that are being tackled right here. Tap into it and let us take it positively as a group of people, especially the young people. I know a lot of young people watch my channel, and that is the direction I want us to take so that we can create something better for ourselves. I know my channel is mostly for entertainment, but this is a serious thing. And if you want us to be doing more of such topics that will bring awareness, to make people galvanize that energy, to use that inner ability they have to make things happen so that we can call our leaders to accountability, then let me know. These are things we need to do, and it is very possible. It is very possible. There are a lot of opportunities around in agriculture, in transportation, in construction, that Ghanaians can rally and do, can rise up and do. But today, we are not able to do all that simply because we are limited. And we are limited simply because we, the people, have failed to wake up to see other possibilities. If you've watched this video and you like it, share with someone. Let's wake up as a people. And let's try to do what's best for the country. Thank you very much for watching. I hope we all learned something. Let me know what you think about in the comment section below. I wanted to show you something, and I wanted us to talk from a different perspective, and I hope we've been able to achieve that. I might have been all over the place sometimes, but I hope you get the whole picture. And where the real conversation is going to happen is going to be in the comment section, where we are going to share ideas and we're going to see the way forward. To hell with NDC, to hell with NPP, to hell with the new force even, because at the end of the day, these are manned by human beings. When these people come into the position of power, they can do things they want to do. However, if we are able to wake up the inner energies in us, when we are able to wake up the lions in us, when we are able to streamline our thoughts, and we know what it is that we want as a people, we can always steer the conversation in a positive way. We can always do that. And no matter who is in power, we can control what they do. We can call for the things we want done to our dear country, and it will be done. So that is where I want the power to be. That is where I want our energies to be. That's where I want our focus to be. Because if we are okay, if we are at peace, and we know what we want as the Ghanaian youth, even if the NDC comes to power, or the NPP, or the new force, we can always challenge the status quo and make things happen for us. That is it right now. My name is Modine. And like you always know, on this channel, it's always about positivity. If anybody comes to you with a negative vibe, turn around with a smile and say, peace out.